Hola, cage fighting connoisseurs. This is KidNativeBloodyElbow.com coming here to bring you the one, the only, the infamous Bathrobe review of Floyd Mayweather versus Marcos Maidana 2, aka Mayhem plus the UFC Brasilia. That's UFC Fight Night Bigfoot versus Silva. For those of you boxing fans who don't usually watch my show, I'm just some idiot in my mom's basement wearing a bathrobe talking about last night's fights. It's a shtick. I can actually afford clothes. Anyway, give us a thumbs up if you like it on YouTube. I know with the boxing stuff that a lot of people are going to be giving me thumbs down. So if you like the show, give us a thumbs up, please. Follow me on @KidNate on Twitter. Read me on BloodyElbow.com and subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. Anyway, overall, fun night of fights. Just because Mayweather makes it an event, the fight itself wasn't that great. The Mayweather undercard was crap. I'm not even going to talk about it. I was watching the UFC Fight Pass card during most of that anyway, but I was flipping back and forth and following what people were saying online about the Mayweather undercard and shaking my head in outrage that I'd spent like 65, I think I spent $75 on the stupid thing last night. Anyway, but the Mayweather fight itself wasn't as good as the last one. Maidana didn't come as close as he did last time. He did hurt Mayweather in the third round. Late straight punch right at the bell, staggered Mayweather, had me all excited, had Maidana excited enough to really pour it on throughout the fourth round. But after that, he had nothing for Mayweather, and he just got more and more frustrated. Allegedly bit Mayweather. Mayweather accused him of biting him. I can't remember the seventh or eighth round. And they got a point deducted for doing a forearm to the throat and a leg trip. Would have been a great MMA move, but got him a point deducted. So, usual Mayweather fight, not really in a tiny bit of danger, modicum of danger, not a great deal of danger. No word on a Pacquiao fight. Dude says he's 48-0 now and wants to do 2 more fights and then retire at 49-0. You'd think he'd want to go for 50-0 and break the Marciano record, but what are you going to do? Anyway, decent night of fights. I mean, the price point's so high, though, I'd have to give it 3 stars. No more, no less. If you didn't see it already, just watch some highlights. The glove biting was probably the biggest thing. I mean, the rally Maidana put on in the fourth round, it's not going to mean anything when you know that he lost already. So, I mean, it was exciting at the time. We thought, oh, my God, he hurt Floyd at the end of the third round. He's coming on. Maybe he's going to win this thing, but 'twas not to be, so it wasn't. Anyway, now to the UFC card review. Overall, strictly because the main event upset, I'm going to give this one 3 stars. I did not want to watch this. I didn't care about this card coming in. But because mostly I thought Andrade had nothing for Bigfoot Silva. I was wrong. Glad to be proven wrong. Nice to see Arlovsky get a knockout win over Silva. Now he's back in the desperately thin UFC heavyweight division, instant title contender. And Bigfoot had lost to Cain Velasquez so bad, and he's already lost to Fabricio Verdum, that there was just nowhere for him to go in the heavyweight division. So now he can just have some fun fights. Maybe he could fight the loser of the Mark Hunt-Roy Nelson fight, be in the mix. He's a fun fighter. Didn't seem like getting off steroids hurt him too much. He had a testosterone therapeutic use exemption. Maybe one of the few guys who needed it because he had his pituitary gland removed because of acromegaly gigantism syndrome he suffers from. Anyway, but let's run through the whole card. I'd give this one 3 stars too. I'll give the watch it now or later reviews fight by fight. So first up, preliminary card, bantamweight Ronnie Yaya versus Johnny Bedford. I don't know why Ronnie Yaya is the one Brazilian guy whose name starts with a hard R instead of an H sound. It's like, we can't keep up, okay? Come on, Portuguese people, get it straight. Anyway, Ronnie Yaya defeated Johnny Bedford with a nasty Kimura in the second round. It looked like he dislocated his shoulder. Yaya was pissed. The last fight ended in a headbutt. There had been tons of smack talking before the fight. Yaya came out aggressive. It looked like he was going to blow his wad and not capitalize on things. He dominated the first round positionally. Second round, seemed like it was Bedford's round. Then Yaya got on top, got that Kimura, and had no mercy whatsoever with it. So good performance by Yaya. Decent fight. I'd give it 3 stars. I'd say go ahead and, if you're a Ronnie Yaya fan, go ahead and watch it now. Otherwise, you can wait till later before his next fight, or before Bedford's next fight. And then welterweights, Sean Spencer and Paulo Thiago. Unanimous decision win for Spencer. Skip this shit. Tedious fight. Paulo Thiago is shot. It was sad to watch him. He got his ass whipped from pillar to post. He's got nothing left at the UFC level. I don't know what the deal is, if he's just been too busy being a super cop in Brazil to train or what, but he's not what he used to be. Sean Spencer didn't have the ability to really capitalize on that though, and never really pulled the trigger. I would go ahead and skip this fight. I'd give it 2 stars. Painful and sad if you're a fan of Paulo Thiago. Then Francisco Trinaldo defeated Leandro Silva by unanimous decision. Personally, I had it scored the other way around. I thought Silva won this fight, but it wasn't a good fight. You could skip this fight unless you're just a hardcore degenerate UFC Brazil fan. It's a lot of grappling, a lot of hugging, mugging, a little bit of striking, just nothing that great. And then welterweight George Sullivan defeated Igor Araujo, knocked him out in the second round. Good fight for Sullivan. I'm kind of becoming a George Sullivan fan, despite myself. I'd give this one 3.5 stars, maybe 4 stars. Go ahead and watch it now if you're a George Sullivan fan, or if you are just desperate to see a good knockout. Because he knocked him the fuck out, got him on the ground, and just boom, 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 knocked him right out. So, pretty good fight for what it is. And then featherweight Godofredo Pepe Castro defeated Deshaun Johnson with a submission, mounted triangle armbar at the end of the first round. Until he got that submission on, it was a really shitty fight. Deshaun Johnson, one of my least favorite UFC fighters, came into the UFC with a completely padded record of fighting bums and explode fight championships. Really seriously bums, like crackheads off the street. Guys with 0-9 records and stuff. So he completely padded his record, got no good experience out of that, and then has been a complete dud in the UFC. Pepe can't strike, so for most of the round, it was at striking distance, was just terrible. Then Pepe got on him, got the triangle, rolled him over to mount, worked the triangle and the armbar at the same time. I believe he tapped the armbar. Really nice submission. Landed some elbows from that position. I'd give the fight 3.5 stars just because of the nice submission and the happy ending insofar as the bad guy lost. Sorry, Deshaun. That's just how I feel. Maybe you can redeem yourself in my eyes, but as far as watching, go ahead and watch it now. Fast forward. It's on Fight Pass. Go ahead and fast forward through most of the fight until you get to the submission. Watch that part. It was pretty cool. All right, and then the main card, 6-fight main card, which is a pretty irrelevant point. It's on Fight Pass. Why you got to switch streams in the middle of the thing and wait 20 minutes? I don't know. I kind of enjoy the 20-minute intermission for what it's worth. Anyway, so women's bantamweight fight, Jessica Andrade defeated Larissa Pacheco. Pacheco came in undefeated. She's tall. At first, it looked like that might help her a bit. She had like a 6-inch height advantage over Andrade. But Andrade just took her down and beat her ass and then submitted her with a guillotine. First round, 4 minutes 33. If you like women's MMA, go ahead and watch it now. Andrade's just a mean little fire plug. I'd give it 3.5 stars. Pacheco looked pretty green. I think she's got some potential, but and I think Andrade might want to move down to flyweight, but we'll see. And then bantamweight Yuri Alcantara defeated Russell Doane, unanimous decision. Pretty good back and forth scrap. I'd give it 3 stars. I'd watch it later unless you're just a hardcore Alcantara or Hawaiian MMA fan and just into the Russell Doane action. It was okay. It was nothing great. The welterweight Santiago Ponzinibbio defeated Wendell Oliveira TKO in the first round. Pretty brutal beating. Ponzinibbio is a guy that I've hated on because of his last name, which is impossible to spell or say. But he looked pretty good last night. Oliveira came out pretty aggressive, and Ponzinibbio wasn't having it and just laid it on with some sweet combinations. Got a good knockout. Oliveira was complaining about it, but he was out. He was out. So good fight. I'd give it 3.5 stars. Go ahead and watch it now. And then up next, lightweights Leonardo Santos defeated former Ultimate Fighter champion Efren Escudero. Unanimous decision. Pretty tedious fight. I would skip this shit. I give it 2 stars. Just it went on and on for no reason. Escudero hasn't developed at all. Just a mediocre fight between 2 mediocre fighters. And that brings us to lightweights. Gleison Tibau defeated Peter Hallman by split decision. This is what you expect from a Gleason Tebow fight. He was throwing some good punches, but mostly it was hug and mug up against the fence and some grappling on the ground, some good double leg takedowns. Peter Hallman gave a tough fight, but never could really get his offense going. I agreed with the split decision. I'd give it 2.5 stars. I would watch it way later unless you're just a degenerate Gleason Tebow fan. I mean, nothing, nothing really to write home about, or you're really curious about how Peter Hallman's developing. And then the main event, Andrade Arlovski knocks out Bigfoot Silva. 2 minutes 59 seconds of the first round. Arlovski looked good. He finally was pulling the trigger. I mean, this is a guy's a head case and a chin case. Like if he's so worried about getting knocked out that he won't commit to his attacks, which completely ruins him as a fighter. Last night he had his head on straight. He was committing to his attacks. He outboxed Bigfoot. He caught him with a sweet series of right hands right through his guard. Looked good. Can't complain. Give it 4 stars. Glad to see Andre back. It is what it is. I mean, he's not a guy I expected to be winning fights in the UFC in this day and age, but he's 2-0 now, although I didn't think he deserved to win in the Brandon Schaub fight, but whatever. Now we got a contender. Let's ride it. Let's milk it. Anyway, so general thoughts on the night. I mean, it's always fun to have these big boxing event nights. I mean, the web traffic was insane. It just had that feeling, seeing the celebrities, Kate's ringside, Dr. J, Mike Tyson. I mean, it felt like a big night. And I worry who's going to provide these big nights when Floyd's gone. I just don't see him. There's not any young up-and-comers. Canelo was the one guy, and I thought Canelo underperformed. So there's nobody getting the shine that like De La Hoya gave Floyd Mayweather when they met. Hopefully Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao can get it together and have a fight before Mayweather retires, even though Pacquiao's not what he used to be. I think it's still going to be an interesting fight. I think it will be a very big event, very big pay-per-view if they can just, please God, put it together. But Pacquiao's so old and done at this point, it's not going to leave us with anything, and so boxing is just going to be, struggling to rebuild for a while, and I don't know that it'll match these heights, just like this era hasn't matched the heights of the De La Hoya era, which in turn didn't match the heights of the Mike Tyson era, which didn't match the heights of the Sugar Ray Leonard era. So, it is what it is. Hand-wringing, worried about my business, the fight. The nerds talking about fight business. Anyway, that's all I got. We'll be back. There's another fight night next Saturday in Japan that's going to be going on in the early AM hours Saturday morning. Coming live from Japan. It's going to have Mark Hunt and Roy Nelson. We'll have all the usual care, don't care previews in the MMA Vivisection. Eugene S. Robinson will be back tomorrow with the Knuckle Up. It'll be on Monday. And that's all we got. So follow us at bloodyelbow.com. Follow me on Twitter at KidNate, although I don't really tweet about fight shit anymore. And subscribe to MMANation.com on YouTube. And remember, give us a like on the videos. So, adios, and thanks for watching. Adios, MMA aficionados. Got to get my tagline right. See y'all.